Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Anneliese Kuemmerle, and I am a program associate and registered dietitian with the Department of Family and Community Health Sciences at Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Cape May County. And it is another beautiful and sunny day here in Cape May County, and it is perfect weather to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is eating seasonally easily. Rutgers Cooperative Extension is a partnership between Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, the Board of County Commissioners of New Jersey, and the USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. We are Rutgers' arm to local communities and have offices in all counties throughout New Jersey. We offer cooperative extension services to support the community and deliver research-based information. We have 3 departments: agriculture and natural resources, 4-H youth development, and my department is family and community health sciences. And at FCHS, we provide outreach about nutrition, chronic disease prevention, food safety, and overall wellness. We are an affirmative action equal opportunity employer whose programs and materials are open to all. And before we get started with today's talk, we would like to ask you a few questions about your demographics. So Brooke, who is in the background today, will release the first poll, please. Thank you, Brooke. And if you are watching on your cell phone, you may not get the poll. That's fine. We still know you're here. And this information helps ensure that our programming is reaching a diverse audience. At the end of the presentation, we will also ask a few questions about what you thought of the topic and the content. So thank you very much for your participation. So today we will talk about benefits of eating seasonally, how to find local produce, and easy ways that we can all enjoy Jersey Fresh. Seasonal eating means choosing foods that are growing locally during their natural harvest time. And I'm just going to summarize some of the benefits here because I've covered others in different presentations. So you may have heard about this already before. First and foremost, when we eat what is available in season and we move our fruit and vegetable choices according to what is in season, we are increasing the variety of fruits and veggies that we eat throughout the year. And as different foods come in and out of season, we're swapping them out. This exposes us to different colors and therefore different phytonutrients and antioxidants. It exposes us to different types of fibers that support gut health and different vitamins and minerals. And research consistently shows that having a varied diet that includes many different types of fruits and veggies helps improve our overall diet quality. And this is linked to reduced risk for chronic disease. Fruits and veggies that are grown with the intention of long distance travel that we are consuming when they're out of season, they are grown far away from us. They are picked before they are ripe so that they can withstand the time and the stress of shipping. And the varieties that are chosen to be grown aren't necessarily selected based on what tastes the best, but rather what is going to hold up during transport. When we're opting for locally grown in-season produce, it's harvested when it's at peak ripeness, and this can mean that it has higher levels of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and it has not had time off of the plant during that transport time for the nutrients to degrade as quickly. Next, this is always my favorite point, locally grown in-season fruits and veggies just taste better. Can we even compare a ripe Jersey tomato from your backyard or the farmer's market down the street to a tomato from the grocery store in the winter? Nope, enough said. And when we're eating locally produced in-season produce, this can also help us with our food budget. Food that is produced locally doesn't accrue the travel expenses that produce that's shipped from far away accrues. So less fossil fuel has been used to transport it. This means money saved during transport. It's also better for the environment. And these savings are often passed down to you, the consumer. In-season produce is also more abundant. The increased supply means that the price can be lower. We are also supporting local farmers when we eat seasonally and buy local. And this helps our local economy. It keeps food dollars in our community. It helps preserve farmland, and it can also be a bridge to connect socially with people in your community as well. So where do we find these delicious in-season goodies? If anyone has a favorite farm stand or a market that you like to visit, I always ask because I don't have a QR code for word of mouth. or an impromptu pulling over on the side of the road to check out some tomatoes or strawberries or seedlings. So talk to each other, share with each other, ask a friend. We can find local produce right in our grocery store by keeping an eye out for the Jersey Fresh logo, which is up here on the screen for you. Jersey Fresh is an advertising, promotional, and quality grading program that is run by the New Jersey Department of Agriculture. Growers register with the state and become licensed to use this logo after their produce meets their quality inspection standards. So when you see the Jersey Fresh logo, it means that the produce or the produce that's in products like pickles or jam was grown in New Jersey and meets specific quality standards. Looking for Jersey Fresh is an easy way to find local food. And today's fun fact is that New Jersey grows over 100 varieties of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. We are also ranked nationally in the top 10 as producer for produce such as blueberries, peaches, bell peppers, squash, tomatoes, and cranberries. So there are a ton of options for the whole family. The QR code on the screen will take you to the Jersey Fresh directory. And this website can help you find farm markets, you-pick farms, restaurants, and other places that offer Jersey Fresh produce. And if you visit a you-pick farm, that's a great fun activity where you can harvest your own produce to take home. You can harvest to preserve, you can harvest just to enjoy. It's also fun to take children so they can get excited about a new fruit or vegetable and learn about where their food comes from. It's also a fun way to get physical activity, to get out and about, and become more interested in eating more fruits and veggies and participating, again, in our local community and our local food system. Another place that we can search is localharvest.org, and this is a national directory of over 40,000 family farms and farmers markets across the country. They also list restaurants and grocery stores that have local foods. The listings on this website are user-driven, so a farm or market has to create their own listing here. So I will caution you that it isn't going to show you every option, which is why I always say talk to a friend. In addition to showing listings for farms and markets, the site also has a food events calendar that you can filter by location. And you can also find local community-supported agriculture programs through this website. Next up, we have the New Jersey Farm Bureau's produce directory, and that can help you find retail and or wholesale places to buy fresh Jersey-grown fruits and vegetables across the state. You can search by produce type, by farm, by county, or by town. One thing to keep in mind with this resource is that they do warn on their website that not all farms on their list sell directly to the public, so you are encouraged to call before visiting and check the availability. So now you know where to get it. What are we going to do with it when we bring it home? When we think about eating seasonally and think about changing up our diet every couple months, it might feel a little overwhelming or come with the idea that you have to learn how to cook new things or have a whole separate batch of recipes to choose from. But eating seasonally can slide easily into the habits and cooking methods that you already have and use. Pictured up on the screen is one of my favorite veggies, featured in my all-time favorite way to cook them. And if you have not had Jersey Fresh asparagus yet this year, go out and treat yourself before the season is over. It's only around until the end of this month. But roasting on a sheet pan is my favorite way to cook veggies. And you can see that I've covered the sheet pan with aluminum foil to make for a ridiculously easy cleanup afterwards. I could call myself lazy, but in the interests of positive self-talk, I will instead call myself efficient. So I encourage you to be efficient. Why stand at the sink scrubbing a pan? You can save yourself a lot of time by doing this. And I'm using this cooking method on asparagus now because I'm buying asparagus now, because asparagus is in season now. And I lay the asparagus out on the sheet pan, drizzle with a little olive oil. You could use vegetable oil, canola oil, and sprinkle with just a little all-purpose seasoning and a lot of extra garlic powder. And then I'll pop that in the oven. I like to do around 400 degrees for just under 20 minutes for these. If you're feeling fancy, you can pop the broiler on for a few minutes at the end of cooking to get some extra caramelization. And now I have a side dinner that night. I have a side with dinner. And then I have leftovers for the week as well. So a bunch of this batch actually ended up getting chopped up, mixed up with some batch prepped quinoa, a little lemon zest, little lemon juice, more garlic, sorry, not sorry, and some feta cheese for a green bowl for lunch the next day. I could also have saved some to throw in at the end of a quick stir fry later in the week, but the green bowl ended up being really good. So that was the fate of the rest of my asparagus. And I'm showing you this because when asparagus season is over, I can carry this same efficient method of cooking to the forward into the season and use the same method on a different vegetable. So asparagus is going to come out of season, but zucchini is about to come into season. So if I swap out my asparagus for zucchini, I'm doing the exact same thing. I like to cut it long ways, the zucchini, into quarters or sixths, depending on how big it is. You could slice it, you could cube it, you could not like zucchini and prefer to do yellow squash, and that's fine too. That's coming into season also. But again, we're using the same cooking method. We're using a very efficient cooking method. We're using the same seasoning blend, the same oil, the same oven temperature, and roughly the same amount of time also. The only thing that I'm changing is the base veggie based on the season. So this is an easy way to rotate out, in and out, new vegetables, new nutrients, and keep things interesting with very minimal thought. And if we follow the seasonality chart from Jersey Fresh, which I'm going to send this out to everybody, we can highlight just a few of the fruits that are coming and going as we move from spring to fall. Strawberry season is just about wrapping up here in New Jersey. Next up, we have blueberries coming in. And then after that, we have blackberries in July and August. Peaches will start to become available in July. And then after that, we have apples, and apples stay with us until December. So we can enjoy locally grown fruit throughout the spring, summer, and fall. We can swap them into the same meals and snacks, again, that we are already having. So it's a minimal lift, minimal finding new, we don't have to find a new recipe or find a whole new cooking method. We just swap out the fruit in our snack, the fruit in our yogurt. You can have any of these fruits in overnight oats. You could have them with cottage cheese. You could have them sliced with a handful of almonds or walnuts or any peanut butter if you like peanut butter. So we are just swapping out the fruit itself, but not what our usual snack is. And when we're doing that, we see the rainbow of nutrients shifting throughout the season. So we're swapping out different colors, different flavors, different nutrients. And all of this contributes to an overall higher variety of food in our diet. There are a few Jersey Fresh items that we can enjoy all summer long. Swiss chard is a great example of this. It is a great way to enjoy our dark leafy greens all summer. It is available from May to November. To any gardeners in the audience who may be growing it, I hope yours is doing well and you are reaping a bountiful harvest. And to saute Swiss chard, you do want to finely chop up the thicker stems. That's my tip and trick for that. The colorful pieces that you see sticking out of the bowl right here. You want to dice them up a little bit and saute them for a few minutes. Bonus points if you throw in a sweet onion, add some more flavor in there. And then you just put the greens on top, put the lid on, give it a shake, and those greens are going to wilt down beautifully. It's quick, easy, and you could have this as a standalone side dish. You could, again, season it minimally and then add lemon juice to your leftovers to give it a little different flavor. You could add this to pasta dishes. You could wilt the greens directly into any soup or casserole. So a lot of options to enjoy throughout the summer. Cabbage and carrots are two more veggies that are in season with us for the summer. And slaws are a great condiment for fish tacos, for shrimp tacos, as a standalone side, again, as a topping on burgers. And it's a refreshing, lighter way to enjoy cabbage that is more in line with the kind of light, refreshing things we may be in the mood for in the summer. And there are a ton of different versions and flavor profiles that you can use to make unique and different slaws so that, again, we don't get bored eating the same thing over and over again. So this one is worth exploring a couple recipes and trying out different flavor profiles. I will send out a couple recipes and I encourage you to give it a try. And of course, once the summer heat settles in, we want easy recipes that do not involve the oven. So grilling can be an easy way to enjoy many of our Jersey Fresh produce picks without having to turn on the stove. There are so many foods that we can add to the grill besides just hamburgers and hot dogs. Zucchini, eggplant, peppers, corn on the cob, those are all great on the grill. We can keep them from sticking by brushing them with a heart-healthy oil like olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. You can make kebabs. That's a great activity for little ones to help get them excited about eating a veggie. And if you are using wooden kebabs, the American Heart Association recommends soaking them in water for at least 10 minutes to keep them from charring. Stir fries are also good to include on the quick and easy list because they come together quickly. They don't require us to spend too much time at the stove because it's a very quick cooking process. And right now, peas are in season, so those are great to throw in a stir fry. We can rotate in veggies throughout the summer. We could add peppers and sweet corn when they come into season next month. We could add zucchini or yellow squash in place of broccoli, which is only in season until the end of this month. So once again, we're changing the veggie, but we're not changing the entire recipe or the method of cooking. And that helps us stay with the seasons in a way that integrates into the habits and routines that we already have in place. Soups are another one to consider for cooler, rainy days. They are also a great way to preserve summer produce because you can make a large pot and then you can portion it out and freeze it. If you are interested in doing that, I will caution that white potatoes and milk-based sauces, so your cream-based soups, those are on the not recommended for freezing list according to the National Center for Home Food Preservation. And that's because for potatoes, when they thaw out, they get mealy and our creamy soup bases can separate. So keep that in mind when you're adding ingredients to your summer veggie soups. If you do plan to freeze them, do not be like me and I have some potatoes, let me throw them in there. And then you realize that you can't freeze it and pour broth. But I'll send that resource out after the presentation too for you so that you can see what ingredients are not recommended for freezing if you're making soups and casseroles and things that you plan to preserve our Jersey Fresh produce with. Bean salads are another example of something that's really flexible that you can make with what you have on hand, that you don't need a full follow to a T recipe for. These are also great to add plant protein to your routine. Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, onions, corn, beets, different herbs, different types of vinegar, different types of seasoning. These can all be used to mix up the flavor profile and keep it interesting and keep it varied. On the bottom left of the screen, we have a Southwest themed bean salad that has peppers and corn, black and pinto beans. That one would be great to throw some cumin in, some chili powder, a little lime juice. On the top left, there is a chickpea salad. That one would be really good with parsley, basil, olive oil, balsamic or red wine vinegar, garlic, feta cheese or goat cheese, and then also on the bottom right, we see the Southwest bean salad served over a bed of lettuce. So if you made a batch of bean salad and had it as a side dish with dinner one night, you can grab and go the next day and have that as a salad for lunch. And if you wanted to add even more protein, you could top it with a hard-boiled egg or a piece of grilled chicken. Fresh herbs are in season all summer long. I talk about herbs all the time too. Fresh herbs can help us be healthier by lowering the amount of salt, fat, and sugar that we use to flavor our food. We can add tons of different flavors to our food using different herbs, from basil to dill to oregano. There's the whole list. I always encourage everyone to grow your own herbs if you can. This will help save you time, help save you money. If we're buying those little plastic sleeves at the grocery store, they add up over time. So growing your own herbs can be very cost effective. You harvest what you need when you want to use it. And not only is that convenient, if you have it on hand, you're more likely to use it. It can also help us reduce waste. And we can put a seasonal eating spin on our drinks too. Adding fresh herbs like mint, different varieties of basil, lemon balm, or even rosemary are a fun and healthy way to add flavor to our drinks without added sugar. Cucumber season is coming up, and cucumbers are a fun way to add a little interest, a little extra flavor by infusing water or club soda or sparkling water. You can try different combos for this and see what you like. Lemon or mint is really good with cucumber. Strawberry is good with mint. Rosemary and orange are a good combo too. And the biggest health benefit with these is to use them as a healthy swap for sugary drinks like soda or sweetened iced tea. A 12-ounce can of soda has about 9 sugar packets worth of sugar. A 20-ounce soda has between 14 and 16 packets of sugar in every bottle. So flavoring water with club soda and flavoring water with in-season fruits, veggies, herbs, and swapping those out for our sugary drinks can really add up, and it adds up over time. If we replace one 20-ounce soda with an infused water or club soda twice a week, at the end of the month, you will have cut out 120 packets of sugar from your diet. And that comes out to almost 2,000 calories. So these small swaps that we make really add up over time and can have a huge impact on our health over time. And plus they're fun and they taste good and they're cheerful looking. So I encourage everyone to try out some exciting new ways to enjoy in-season produce. Use the cooking methods you already use the flavor profiles you already enjoy, and try swapping out one of your staple veggies for a new in-season fruit or vegetable to keep that variety in your diet up over time. And as always, I encourage everyone to talk and share with each other. If you have a favorite way to eat Jersey Fresh, let everybody know in the chat. And with that, Brooke kindly will release the second poll, please. And we appreciate your feedback, as always. Thank you very much for spending your lunch with us today. I have also shared on the screen on the right information about the Empower to Prevent Type 2 Diabetes program, which is a year-long program nationally recognized by the CDC. The program is free and offered over Zoom as evening classes, and I will be teaching this with the Somerset County FCHS team starting in July. So anyone who is interested is welcome to scan the QR code on the flyer on the bottom right there and see if you're eligible. We also have a fun announcement from our 4-H friends here in our office. At our Cape May County 4-H fair this year, it has been opened up the contests. So our contests are now, we have an open division this year at the 4-H fair, open to the general public. So even if you aren't in 4-H, if you have homemade preserved food, handwork, or sewing projects, knitting and crochet would count for this also. Or if you have any art or photography that you would like to enter, you can enter it during our 4-H fair this year. So I'll send the flyer and contact info for our 4-H secretary, Natalie, out in the follow-up resources after today's Lunch and Learn for anyone who is interested in entering our 4-H fair this year. And our next Lunch and Learn will be on Tuesday, July 7th at 12:30, and the topic is avoiding stress eating. I'm happy to take any questions about what we covered today, and I wish everyone a very happy, wonderful rest of the day, and I hope you get out and about and enjoy the sun. See if I can take a look at the chat. Anyone have any questions or comments? All right, everybody, thank you. Send some bean salad recipes out. I usually make them without a recipe. I usually make them with just what I have hanging around the kitchen, but I'll definitely send some recipes out, and you can check them out, and I encourage you to adapt and modify them as you wish. And yes, today we are recording, so this will be up on our YouTube channel. And we'll send out the link to the recording with the follow-up resources. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Enjoy your day.